Do you know what these are? Do you have them and do you really need them? Today we are going to find out. We are here in Saigon, Vietnam, and it's the first week of August 2021. We are in week 8 of Directive 15, social distancing, and week 4 of Directive 16, full lockdown.
So today we're going to see what can we do and what can't we do under this new Directive 16.
So nice to finally take that mask off. So let's talk about COVID in Vietnam. So since the virus was first recorded here in March of 2020, Vietnam has actually had a really good worldwide reputation for controlling it, and things have been pretty good relative to many other countries up until around June of 2021, where we started to get some more daily cases and a few deaths more regularly. As of the 1st of June, we had Directive 15 restrictions on the city, which was basically our social distancing time up until the 9th of June, when we entered Directive 16.
So Directive 16 is basically just lockdown as we know it. So this means only going out for essential reasons or essential things such as food shopping, medical reasons, or going to the airport if you need to.
So these rules are always changing quite quickly. It's very difficult to get information in a timely manner. And especially for us, these instructions are really difficult because they're never publicized in English, only Vietnamese. So we rely on Facebook for, rumors or people posting pictures of the classic Vietnamese letters that no one understands. So it's hard to find a reliable source, but luckily we have a really great landlord here, and he sent us a document in English about what Directive 16 is. So let's take a look at that. So the letter reads that from July 9th, Directive 16 will be enforced here in Saigon. It says it suspends all types of non-essential services and businesses.
So this basically means that people can only go out to buy things that are necessities, such as food, water, maybe going to the hospital, medical reasons, or to go to the pharmacy.
Or if you're a diplomat, which we tried, but we couldn't get away with, so we can't do that one. The next point is just standard social distancing. These are very familiar rules for everyone around the world, and they carry over from Directive 15, which is wearing masks, washing hands, using antiseptic solution, and maintaining social distance and no big crowds. One of the more important changes is that as of Directive 16, that there are no passenger services available. The best way to get around the city if you don't have a motorbike, which luckily we do, but is to use the Grab app. So I'll show you when you go on Grab, you have lots of different options like Grab delivery, or you used to have passenger services, but as you can see now there's no passenger option. You cannot take a Grab bike to get around the city. Do you think that's a really good precaution to do? What about if you don't have a bike?
I mean, I guess when we're in Directive 16 anyway, you wouldn't really be going out unless it was for food shopping, but I mean, I guess it's good for the safety of the driver and for the passenger, but it does make things a little bit less convenient if you just need to get to the hospital quickly or you need to go to the airport via car. So I guess that makes it a bit inconvenient.
And if there was any decent public transport here, then that would be suspended too. Yeah. Come on, SkyTrain 2030 is coming.
So the third big change that we found is that they've stopped most delivery services in the city. So this means you can only really receive essential deliveries such as food and water, maybe medical supplies, but maybe things that aren't essential, you will have to wait longer to receive them, or they will just be cancelled. Another big change that we found is that restaurants have stopped sending takeaways. So a lot of people in Directive 15 or even before that relied on these food deliveries because it's so cheap to live in Vietnam. But now you can't even get hot food delivered.
I mean, we found there may be a few exceptions. For example, earlier in the last month, I had a delivery from Lazada that arrived. Lazada is like Vietnamese Amazon, on-demand delivery. And we had some food delivered, some fresh bread from a local bakery. But for the most part, we found many restaurants and businesses saying they can't deliver, do these things, but it's a little bit of a grey area. And I think that's been a real difference and step up from Directive 15 to 16, that lots of restaurants have said they're closed, even for takeaway, which, makes it difficult for people. You're relying on cooking at home. Not every apartment has kitchens, luckily we do, but makes it difficult for people, so that's been a challenge with Directive 16. that's the list of most of the changes for Directive 16. The last part on this message is a really nice one. As I mentioned, we love our landlord here, and he offers for several of the apartments in the building a discount of 1.5 million during these tough lockdown Directive 16 pandemic months, which we really appreciate. This apartment here is $500, which is 11.5 million Vietnamese dong. So that represents around 15% discount during this time. We're lucky to work online, so we do still have income, but that's a really nice gesture. Hard to find a landlord here in Vietnam or in Saigon that will give that kind of generosity. So that's a big thumbs up from us. We appreciate that. If you'd like to see a tour of this apartment, then let us know in the comments and we can do that too. What do you get for $500 in Saigon? Really appreciate having our landlord to help explain things because, like we said, really not easy to get up-to-date information for your area in English as an expat.
And things are changing every day, so it's difficult to know what's old news and what's new news, isn't it?
Yeah, or fake news these days.
Yeah.
So the other important change that's happened with Directive 16, specifically in the last week, is these that we have right here. Some kind of movement passes. Like we said, it's very unclear what they're for. We actually had to ask our landlord, send a picture and say, what is this? And then he comes knock on the door and he delivers some tickets to us. So maybe he wouldn't have told us about it otherwise, but they are your, I think, movement passes. This one is shopping for Tuesday and Friday between the morning, 7 to 10 and 2 to 4:30 in the afternoon.
Yeah.
And this one?
This one's for Monday and Thursdays, the same times, and this is just for buying necessities.
There's also a separate card that is valid anytime, any day, which I think is for mother care and other urgent medical stuff. So this is the newest change. This is what we're going to investigate. A few days ago, I did some shopping and we're going to show you, do you really need this? Is this important? Are they checking it? So let's take a look now. Shopping time, let's go.
Let's go.
Just arrived to the Tops Market behind me to do weekly shopping, but apparently there were some cases in the supermarket, so it's closed. No can do. Have to ring Emma and find a different plan for what we're going to do for shopping this week. So just had a discussion with Emma. Apparently Mega Market in An Phu is open. Today is our allowed shopping day and we really need some essentials. So I think I'm gonna try. There's a little blockade over there. So I'm gonna see if my ticket gets me through and go do some shopping. Let's see. So just finished my shop in Mega Mart. It was actually quite stressful. At the start, I had to do the form, to write a form and do the online form, kind of a lot. And the place is busy. It's like a big Costco and it's not my normal supermarket. I don't know where anything is, so it took me a long time to find it, about an hour just to do this much shopping. But just about to go to checkout, pay up and finally get home. Jesus Christ, it's so slow. So slow. This guy, he's been waiting in line for 20 minutes. These guys have been in front of me for 10 minutes. So slow. Well, that was officially horrible. Took me over an hour to just do a basic shop. It was so busy, so disorganized, and super slow at checkout. But finally got all my stuff. Now just one person, try and take all that food home. COVID alert. Time to try and get all this stuff back home. So let's try. So our ticket told us one person per family can come and do the shopping. So I'm here on my own, trying to load up the whole motorbike. I gotta try and take it back on my own. So let's see how this goes. So you just saw me shopping. To answer the question, did I really need this? For me, the answer was no. I had to do the online form and a paper form. They took the paper form, but they did not check the online form, and they did not check this ticket. So maybe things will change by the time you're watching this video, tomorrow, the next day. But for me, this was an unnecessary hassle. Probably the biggest deal was that it says right here, one family can send one person shopping. Now we're a couple and we'll shop together on one motorbike. Means we can shop a lot quicker, which is also safer, and it's much easier to transport. You saw me struggling to get those bags on the bike. If that's not the case, it was a lot of stress for me to try and follow these rules, which were a bit unnecessary. So that was a bit of a hassle, to be honest.
Yeah, and it's always unclear what these rules actually mean and how strict they really are. So it just depends. I guess for us, it's not really worth it taking the chance or taking a risk if we were going to get fined or sent home and not able to do the shop. So
yeah, right. One change that may have happened recently, we see some comments on Facebook and such that says you cannot shop across wards. So we're in District 2 and we live in Tao Dien ward, but the Mega Mart that I went to in the video is in An Phu ward. So technically under these restrictions, I would not be able to do that, but my ward supermarkets were all closed. So what are you supposed to do? We'll see if that is really going to be the case in the future.
Another recent change that's happened is a curfew that they've imposed over the city. So this means that basically you're only allowed to go out during the hours of 6 a.m. till 6 p.m. So this hasn't really been that inconvenient for us because we stay at home majority of the time. There's no real reason to go out anymore now that gyms, cafes, restaurants and all that stuff have closed. But for people that maybe do work during those early hours, or they don't finish work until late and they need to have something delivered or need to do food shopping after 6, that could be a real problem for them.
Maybe you're working at those times. Maybe you can only go shopping at 6, or you've got a family or something. That certainly complicates it. So have to see if these are really going to be enforced in the future. So on to the future. Directive 16 is the latest one. Who knows how many directives? Might be like the iPhone, if you got the new iPhone 39. I think the lockdown is certainly, in my opinion, not going to be stopped before we start to see a dip in cases. As you saw earlier, at the moment we are still on the incline, which is not a good sign. So for us, it's only going to get more strict. If you're a tourist and you're thinking or wanting to visit Vietnam, in my opinion, I wouldn't bet on doing that in 2021, which is quite a sad reality. If you're looking to work here in Vietnam, you can get a work permit, have an employer to sort everything. There may be potential for that still too in 2021, but for me, I don't think there's any tourism here in 2021. So sorry to break that to you if that's what you're trying to do.
So that's a real shame for Vietnam because this country relies a lot on tourism, much like other Southeast Asian countries. And it's really sad to see travel businesses, you know, out of work, out of business and having to close down. You can always try next year.
So in other news, later this week is going to be Emma's birthday. It's going to be our first lockdown birthday. We'll try to make the most of it. Unfortunately, we can't be traveling to go to a bougie hotel like we did for your birthday last year, where we went to the Kanto Eco Lodge. You can check that video up there if you want to. But hopefully we can still make the most of it. Try and order a little Oreo cheesecake delivery on the sly. So that should be okay, I hope.
Yeah, it's not the end of the world if we can't go out for a yummy meal, but I'll be working anyway, so I guess it'll just be a normal day.
Maybe next birthday,
Yeah.
right? That's the end of this update for August 2021 in Vietnam. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and help smash the algorithm. And if you like this travel channel that can no longer travel, then please subscribe as well. Would really appreciate that. So if you want to watch more, over here is our last lockdown video. And on this side is a playlist for all of our beautiful Vietnam travel content that you can check out too. So thanks for supporting the channel. Hope you enjoyed the video and see you next time.
Hope to see you back here soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye.